All right, visuals on your screens at the moment of Donald Trump, US President, landing in Switzerland at Davos for the World Economic Forum. Now, US President Trump's visit there is highly anticipated. All eyes are going to be on what he really says, who he interacts with. Remember, he is interacting with a huge number of the Indian diaspora as well. A lot of CEOs from India is who he will be meeting very soon. But his landing there at a time when so much is happening amongst tariff, among conversations on Greenland capture, so many conversations, and at the helm of it all is this one man who has just landed, we are told, in Zurich. And from there, he will be taking a flight towards Davos, which is like a small village there, tucked in between the Alps, where the elite of the world once sat down to discuss issues, now of late becoming more and more of a political power center as well. Trump's arrival there and the much anticipated arrival there is just an example of that. So President Donald Trump there in Zurich on day 2 of Davos, where he'll be meeting very interesting people, including, like I said, the Indian diaspora. What happens there? Will they discuss tariffs? Will more be on the cards as well, is what we'll keep an eye on. At the moment, he's taking off to land in Davos. All right, as he gets in there, questions already being screamed at him, asking him what is it. You see that? People screaming out for his name. Journalists, one can understand. But let's see how this actually pans out. Let me try and cut across to my colleague Rajdeep Sardesai, who is in Davos and also tracking all these developments. Rajdeep, as we speak, President Trump is already there. But, you know, Davos has long been projected. In fact, it projected itself as a place where global consensus was shaped. But with wars ongoing, trade blocs hardening, leaders openly rejecting multilateralism, is Davos really still relevant, in your opinion? Or has it become like this photo op disconnected from how the world actually is being run by men like Donald Trump?
Thanks very much, Sonal, first of all, for having us here in Davos, where we are at the India Today, Business Today, Davos Brainstorm. Look, all eyes are on Donald Trump. And the very fact that Donald Trump is coming here to Davos in the middle of all this global uncertainty between Europe and US reflects the importance of the World Economic Forum in a way. It provides him an opportunity to reach out not just to all the billionaires and various thought leaders assembled here, but indeed to the whole world. And the interesting aspect is he comes just about 24 hours after Mark Carney of Canada and the French President Macron reflected a very different viewpoint to that of Donald Trump. In fact, Carney's speech is going viral. He's speaking about the importance of middle powers, asserting their sovereignty, about the need for a rule-based world order. So they've in a way set the stage for an alternative narrative to the one that Donald Trump has been pushing. And in that sense, Davos provides a platform for the world to hear both views within 24 hours of each other. Yes, the address is primarily to the elites, as you may want to call them, but I do believe that what we are seeing is the use of this platform for the world to try somewhere to reconcile these conflicting worldviews. I don't think Davos is going to solve that problem of these conflicts that are enveloping the world at the moment, but at least it gives some kind of space for engagement in a less hostile environment than you would otherwise find. So I do believe in that sense Davos has in a way asserted its importance to the global community.
You're right, but it's such a breakaway, Rajdeep, isn't it, from how Davos used to be, or perhaps should we say how the world order used to be. These are very interesting times, but President Trump could have just taken a tweet and spoken about it, right? He doesn't need this platform, if I'm being honest here. So what is it exactly that he brings to the fore? And when you meet with these world leaders, are they engaging with each other behind the scenes, apart from what we just see on air? Give us a sense of what's the mood like in Davos this time.
You know, Sonal, that's a follow-up really from what I said earlier. Yes, there is a sense that, you know, Davos seems to be having some kind of a cognitive dissonance. You're talking, the theme of the conference is spirit of dialogue. What's happening in the real world? Anything but dialogue. You've got Donald Trump wanting to grab Greenland virtually after having taken down Maduro in Venezuela, threatening Iran. He even wants to use this platform now to get the border peace, where he wants countries to sign billion-dollar checks. That's the reality on the ground. You've got someone like Trump, described by one of our guests a few days ago as a mafiosi-like leader, described by Fareed Zakaria on our show yesterday as the Mad King syndrome. You've got someone totally whimsical, someone who takes decisions often very arbitrarily. And therefore, yes, there are limitations to what you can achieve at a World Economic Forum. The outside world is very unsettled, both in terms of the world trade order as well as the geopolitical order. And I don't think Davos is going to solve any of those problems. Interestingly, though, at Davos, Oxfam released the World Inequality Report. And therefore, I find that interesting that while you have these gathering of all these political and business elites, you also have space to listen to other voices like those who argue that the world is becoming even more unequal. There is a mismatch between Davos's avowed goal to make the world a better place and the way the world is heading. But at least it is a platform for a conversation. And unless you have a conversation and a dialogue, you're not going to get anywhere closer to solving the world's problems. And in this Trumpian age, there are no rules left anymore. And that perhaps is the limitations of a global gathering like this, which is why the cynics will call it little more than a photo op.
All right, this Trumpian age and this mismatch of what the world is going through versus what unfolds in Davos is clearly interesting. It's a binary of sorts that's unfolding here. But thank you so much, Rajdeep, for bringing perspective from there, and stay warm. We are told it's quite cold in there. And while Rajdeep was speaking about it, Donald Trump has also landed. So the next 24 hours are going to be interesting to see who he meets, what he says.